Poppy Playtime, Indigo Park, Bendy and the Dink Machine, and even Garten of Bam Bam. I'll give you a second to figure out what they all have in common. Did you get it? That's right. They all have very short, mostly boring chapter 1s. Indigo Park is kind of an exception. But they are, for the most part, boring. Completely boring. So boring, in fact, that you'd rather listen to one of those unskippable cutscenes your uncle gives you about the importance of having responsibilities. But it's that same uncle who crashed his motorcycle while driving to the 7-Eleven across the street. Most Mascot horror games chapter 1s are like fast food. You see the flashy logo, you get the food pretty quickly, because it's free, and you play the game. It's kinda underwhelming because it's fast food, a chapter 1. But you're interested, and you'll probably go back to the franchise when they open up a better restaurant that isn't fast food, aka Chapter 2. That's the basics of a normal Mascot horror franchise when it comes to Chapter 1s. And that has been the status quo for a while. Until now. What if there was a game that defied the Mascot Horror Chapter 1 status quo with so much better engaging gameplay, visuals, and mascots, and it would blow all the others out of the water. A game that has such a good Chapter 1 and it leaves you with so much promise for many more amazing things to come in the next chapter. But for some reason, no one is talking about. Well, let me introduce to you the Bushside Rangers. Bushside Rangers is a new Mascot horror game released only a few months ago, but not really many people have been talking about it. And they should be. You should be. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could it possibly defy Mascot horror tropes when it literally copies the fundamental trope of Mascot horror, which is returning to the rundown plays and then spooky hijinks with the mascot ensues? Well, while that is a valid concern, I'm not trying to explain how they reinvented the wheel for Mascot horror like Finding Frankie. I'm simply praising them for how the wheel they made did not roll into Chapter 1 tech demo territory like basically everyone else. It brings so much more to the table for a Mascot horror game's first chapter. You have more gameplay, boss sections, longer run times for goodness sake. Bushside Rangers tears down the old Mascot horror unspoken commandment for Chapter 1 and builds up a new status quo. While this game is not perfect, Bushside Rangers leaves so much promise for its future chapters, and that is what we're looking at today. I'm Ride or Die, your below average gamer, and I invite you to sit back, relax, and hit that subscribe button if you're feeling generous as we explore the gameplay, characters, horror, aesthetics/music, and fun of the Bushside Rangers to prove how this game defies old Mascot horror tropes for Chapter 1 and shows how great it can be as a franchise.
How about a day where you get to meet the Bushside Rangers?
No. Gameplay is crucial in Mascot horror, but for some reason, when it comes to creating a Chapter 1 for a Mascot horror franchise, they all throw it out the window like you would if you discovered your cat was on fire. Yes, this is a likely scenario. This game features good mechanics and numerous engaging gameplay sections. Admittedly, in the beginning, there isn't much gameplay as it just follows the basic puzzle premise of looking for items or plugging this thing in and whatnot. However, they also don't inform you of any objectives really in the beginning, so you don't know what to look for or how much you have left to find, which can be a bit confusing and annoying. Thankfully, that all changes once we get our Ranger Watch. The Ranger Watch is our Mascot horror gimmick for the chapter. The grab pack for Bushside Rangers per se. The drone. The deputy okay, sorry, you get it. The Ranger Watch has two features. The first one lets you know how far or close a mascot is.
Oh, I love hide and seek.
Who asked?
This is very helpful during boss sections, letting you know when to hide and when to stay put. You should be safe here.
Come back.
They balance this out as well, as you can only use this feature when hiding in large hiding spots, such as a dumpster. This prevents it from being absolutely broken, like in a certain game.
Have you ever heard of Among Us?
The other mechanic involves its ability to connect these computers called Ranger charging stations. You must use the arrows on your keyboard to navigate the keypad, find the number shown on screen, and then click enter once it enters the square to keep the charging power station on. And if you mess up, the power drops and it sets off an alarm alerting the nearest mascot. This makes it very tense to solve the puzzle, ensuring you're on the right number in time. It was especially hard for me because my mic was in the way of my keyboard, so I couldn't see where the enter button was.
Oh, what the? No!
It's refreshing to have a mechanic with more than one function, and both are actually engaging. Yes, Deputy Duck has 2 mechanics, and yes, they were not equally engaging. Like, what am I supposed to do with the split-second flat? While this chapter ends with a big chase, Bushside Rangers includes many more mascot encounters, and actually introduces us to more than one mascot like Indigo Park, but done much better in my opinion. The first mascot encounter is with a worn-down sloth known as Special Simon.
I did not know that their names were Spectacle Simon and Spectacle Chester. Oopsie daisy.
His boss section is your basic horror section. You must avoid him while charging up 3 ranger power stations. After that, a chase scene ensues. Alright, bye-bye. This one was pretty decent. Not too hard, but not too easy. Now, the second encounter is my favorite, and personally, the highlight of the entire chapter. You enter Sous Chef Monkey Man's territory in the gift shop. It would be pretty cool, you know, if he were a rat, you know, Ratatouille and all, which I'm not sure why he is not in the kitchen, but that's okay.
You should go back to the kitchen.
You must reach the exit on the opposite side of the room, but it needs to be powered by 3 ranger stations hidden throughout the store. But Mr. Monkey, aka Special Chester, is here climbing on the roof, and he's blind, so you know what that means. Yep, he runs into a bunch of stuff, but that also means you can't make a lot of noise. But, there's a bunch of squeaky toys all over the ground. So, pretty challenging stuff. I had the toughest time with this section, no, step in, but also the most fun, because of how challenging it can get. Navigating through all the squeaky toys and the maze of the gift shop and powering everything and making sure he can't hear you. It's a lot of stuff. Also, each time a mascot spots you, you get this mini jump scare before their theme music starts playing as they begin a mini chase until you can find a hiding spot, or you just get caught. Also, your vision completely distorts, which just makes you panic even more, which is a nice touch. Additionally, the jump scare screen is amazing, just like Finding Frankie. Speaking of chases though, there are several throughout the chapter, which is very fun and such a breath of fresh air. While the chases are nothing to write home about, the chapter does contain the classic climactic end chase, involving both mascots we meet in the chapter, which is a great way to culminate things. The chase utilizes everything we've learned from the chapter and can be very challenging, requiring quick reflexes to avoid dead ends, which I fell for way too many times. Overall, Bushside Rangers gameplay shows much promise and areas that they can work on for the next chapter, leaving me very hyped.
Are you trying to play hide and seek?
No.
Oh.
I want everyone to say it with me. What's the most important aspect of a mascot horror game besides gameplay? Characters. Yes, mascots are very important in mascot horror. I mean, it's in the name. And I think Bushside Rangers does an amazing job with their characters. Yes, I'm mentioning the player character because we actually know a little bit about her. I'm looking at you, Gartner Bad Band. Anyways, she's your average main character. She has a love for amusement parks, and I guess so much so she breaks into this old one because of the memories. Yes. I remember my life as a teen. Watching Legoland close down was the saddest moment of my life. I had so many memories there. So of course, the only thing I could do was break into the place.
Here's Johnny.
Also, she says a bad word.
Damn it.
Oh!
Right to jail, right away.
He has a pretty good character design. The design with his dark blue suit and missing eye and arm. He limps around the part. I think they do have a good balance between mascot and horror. Not mascot kid eye-catching like Huggy.
Meet their favorite characters.
Oh dear. But it is horror, which is great. Just like Finding Frankie himself. I love this guy's design. Probably my favorite one. Again, another superb design that focuses more on horror than mascot eye-catching. They are very close to a balance though. Not as great as Finding Frankie, but it is really cool, especially for a first-time dev. I believe it's a first-time dev. He's got a cool chef outfit with the chef hat with a bite taken out of it. Kind of reminds me of the Steamboat Willie game, which I'm sorry, I'm not reviewing that thing.
graphics look cool.
Are you sure?
Aesthetics are actually very good and look very professional. The designs for the environments are very immersive and have a lot of cool style to them. I really like that they lean into the overgrown nature aesthetic for all of the buildings. It really feels like this is an old abandoned amusement park and no one has really kept it in check. The entrance is especially cool, and it gives you a very mysterious vibe and ambiance to the park. It's a great starting visual to entice you in. Also, there's just some random skulls, so I don't know, it's a horror game. You know, you do you. Also, the music is pretty great for a Chapter 1 Mascot horror game. Most don't usually have music, or if they do, it is barely poorly thought out. But most of the OST for Bushside Rangers is really good, and there are some highlight songs, such as the songs leading up to Chef Monkey encounter, which are really good and enjoyable. Also, the music on the tram ride is just amazing in my opinion. They really know how to set the mood with the songs. And I think Bushside Rangers theme is also really catchy.
When there's a spark comes down and you will live the dream.
They have a lot of potential to make more bangers and implement it for the next chapter.
There's like the
Wake up.
Did you guess what time it is? That's right. It's time for the lore! And now, I will give a brief rundown of the story. We are the teen girl named Vera, who has returned to sneak into the park after its sudden closing because of the foggy memories associated with it, as this is her favorite Mascot park. Apparently, something terrible was happening here, leading to the park's unexpected closure, and we want to uncover the truth behind it all. You know, typical Mascot horror stuff. But here's where they diverge from the original Mascot horror path. As we break in, we're shocked to discover the mascots actually know our names.
What?
Excuse me, what's the actual
How is this even possible? We're not sure yet, since the game doesn't spill all the beans, being a chapter-based adventure and all. But it seems that some of our hidden memories are tied to these mascots who are now, well, hunting us. This helps create personal stakes that don't just involve our survival, but engages our eagerness to know why they already know us, and why are they hunting us. By the end of the game though, we narrowly escape Mr. Monkey and Special Simon through a vent, and we encounter a new foe, and we already know her name.
Laurel?
And bam, that's about it for Bushside Rangers. That's the rundown. Pretty quick story. And for the most part, while it does keep a lot of details under wraps, since this is only Chapter 1, truly stands out compared to most other first chapters of Mascot horror. Plus, on top of the intro, this game features cinematics. Huzzah! It's really exciting that they included them. Bushside Rangers Chapter 1 offers little hints about the overarching story, since we're only in Chapter 1. They're simply providing us with the silverware for the main course to come. Whether that main course is delightful or not remains to be seen. The horror in this game feels like enjoying a burger from Wendy's. It's pretty darn good, but not quite the levels of the greats like In-N-Out. Still, a tasty experience. The game creates a fantastic ambiance that gives you an unsettling vibe right from the start. It's just you and absolute silence, with the occasional OST playing in the background. Both boss sections are terrifying in their own unique ways. The second boss encounter was especially nerve-wracking with how many things you have to manage. Overall, the horror is executed really well for a Chapter 1, featuring many high-stakes moments. Unlike the first chapter of Poppy Playtime or Indigo Park, it really highlights. This one clearly shows a lot more effort is put into the scare than other entries. Okay, we have to die. We have to be dead at that point. Crash, oh my gosh, we survived. Although it's just a first chapter of the game, I truly believe it is one of the most replayable out there. I mean, I spent 3 hours playing it, so you know I had a blast, and I promise you it wasn't just a skill issue.
I just can't do it. I can't.
I absolutely adored Mr. Monkey's encounter. It gives a glimpse into the innovative and cool ideas this game has, and I really hope they bring even more unique concepts like that for Chapter 2. The boss sections strike a nice balance, where they aren't too hard, but they weren't a walk in the park either. The Ranger Watch adds exciting puzzle mechanics, especially since you can only use it in large hiding spots as well. One thing I notice is that the game sometimes drops the ball on explaining objectives, as I've said before. This is definitely something they can improve on for this next chapter. Overall, Bushside Rangers is probably one of the best Mascot Horror Chapter 1 experiences I have ever played. They have enticing gameplay and fun mechanics. They have cool character designs and promising ones for next chapter. and they have given you a bit of the lore to chew on, so you're ready for more in Chapter 2. I heavily encourage everybody to please check out this game for yourself, because it really is that good. That's all from me, and ciao ciao for now.